Yes, qualified naturopath. And how would you describe yourself? The founder and creator of
Arcadia Skincare.
Arcadia Skincare?
Yep, that's
Cool.
fair.
Arcadia Skincare. Well, what do you do?
Well, I'm a fully qualified and naturopath and medical herbalist. I've got a Bachelor of Health Science from Charles Sturt University, and I've created Arcadia Skincare, which basically it's a range of all natural, herbally medicated topical treatments that are natural, effective, and affordable.
Natural, effective, and affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Affordable? You mean people are going to be able to
Actually afford them, yes.
Wow. And how did you get into this?
Well, my mum has always used natural treatments, like if we've got a bee sting, we had to put an onion on it, or if we've got a bruise, we had to put butter on it, and we only went to the doctor if we were in serious need of medical assistance. So that's, I've always kind of had that kind of influence, but I've also read a series, it's called the Earth Children series by Jean L. And the main character basically is a medicine woman or becomes one. And I just kind of thought it was cool to be able to heal people with just stuff that's growing around the place, like she just harvested it and dried it, and then whatever problems anyone had, she had a fix for it basically. So I quite liked that idea. Um, yeah,
So
and
you,
then
so you like that idea, and
I was working full time at in an office, just at an educational institution, and I mean, it was okay, but it was pretty boring. I've been doing it for 2 years. I kind of just had an urge to do something that I actually like to do, or that I was passionate about doing. So I looked around at different institutions and different qualifications that you can get, and I decided to go with the South Pacific College of Natural Therapies because it had a link with the Charles Sturt University in Australia, and it meant that in the 3 years that I studied for my Bachelor of Health Science in complementary medicine, I also came away with an advanced diploma in medical herbalism and an advanced diploma in naturopathy. So, that seemed like a good use of my time.
was that a tough course?
Yes, it was. Yeah, because we had to go to class, but we also had correspondence papers for the university in Australia. So it was a lot of work. Yes. What a hard yakka.
Okay, so you got qualified, and you figured out what all the herbs and things that grow in gardens could do to help people.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how long have you been kind of experimenting with your topical remedies and concoctions and potions and recipes?
Well, we learnt how to make a basic cream in my course that we did, um, and then um, we basically I just took that and took what herbs did, and uh, one time my friend and I got together, and for Christmas we bought a whole heap of ingredients, and we designed like about 4 or 5 things, and we made them all, and we gave them batches of things to everybody for Christmas, and it worked out really cheap, and everyone uh, thought that they were really awesome too. They did what they said they were supposed to do. Like, I think I made a moisturizer, a heat rub, a sun lotion, insect repellent, and and so I kind of thought, oh, this is quite fun, designing things. And then my stepson basically had really bad eczema, and his mum kept putting the steroid creams on it, and it was making his skin really thin and kind of cracked easily, and I wanted something natural to put on it because he was with us for a week at one point. So I thought, oh well, I'll give it a go with something. So I made some cream because I went to the chemist, and it was just so expensive to buy something natural that was going to stop the itching and heal up the skin a bit and stop the eczema. So yeah, I designed something, I made it. We tried it on him. It worked really well. So I kind of kept the recipe, and then I made it for itchy bites and burns and all sorts of things it was really good for. And then other people started wanting it too. Like, oh, when you make the next batch, can you make me a pot of that? So I started selling it, and then
So there's a need.
yeah, and other people started asking about other problems that they had that skincare could help with. So like varicose veins and just a good moisturizer that doesn't have all the chemicals in it. I mean, your skin absorbs things within 20 minutes. It's in your bloodstream, the stuff that you put on your skin. So it does actually matter what's in your skincare, and a lot of the stuff on the shelf in the supermarkets, they're just crap, really.
Not so good, huh?
No.
So these products that you manufacture have been tried and tested for quite a while by quite a few people, and you've had some good reports.
Yes, yeah, I've had lots of good reports, especially about my eczema cream and my vein relief. The eczema cream really does, stop the eczema, stop the itching is the most important thing with an eczema cream. It doesn't smell bad, which is another important thing because kids will not let you put things on them that smell bad. It goes into the skin well. Yeah.
So we've got some here. We've got your eczema cream. So
Oh,
what?
that's the hormone.
That's hormone relief.
We don't have any.
Oh, we don't know. Now, what's in the eczema cream that sort of is the big magical ingredient?
Well, it's all. I kind of, when I formulated it, I basically just looked at what eczema was: itchy, red, sore, irritating, persistent, like drying. So you basically want something cooling that's going to stop the itch, reduce the inflammation. So I decided to put things in like licorice root extract, which is really anti-inflammatory. It's basically like the steroids, like it does the same job as the steroid cream, basically, but obviously it has none of the steroids in it or any of the bad effects of steroids, like on your liver and on your skin. So, but it gets rid of some of the itching and it really reduces the inflammation. Chickweed is the one that stops the itching the best. It's magic, that little chickweed. And then it's got things to cool it, like aloe vera, peppermint, and then things to heal the skin, like again, like the aloe vera, but it's also got comfrey, calendula, and zinc to heal the skin up.
Oh, wow! So it's just like it's actually quite a science, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So okay, and so you've got your moisture butter, and I guess if I asked you about that, you'd talk about some of the things you just talked about that are in the eczema cream, the same sort of things that feed the skin, the aloe vera and the
calendula, comfrey. Yep, but it's also got things like gotu-kola, which is really great for the skin, but it's also kind of a de-stressing herb. They call them adaptogens. And so even if you're putting it on your skin, it still soaks into your bloodstream and it has the effect of kind of de-stressing you as well. So it's kind of like moisturizer that de-stresses you.
So it's very calming. It calms the skin, calms the nerves, calms your whole life.
Yeah.
So, okay, and you've got one here called Skin Renew, which is kind of like the moisture butter, but it's rocket powered. What makes that so much more than the moisture butter?
It's just the oils I've used. I mean, I have used still the aloe vera, calendula, comfrey, but I've also got like really luxurious oils in there, like argan oil, which was all the rage a couple of years ago for the hair, but it's also magic for wrinkles and like fine lines and stuff. It's got tamanu oil, which is also the same. It's really renowned for reducing wrinkles. It's got avocado oil, rosehip oil, coconut oil. So it's got just an amazing array of more of the expensive high top end oils in it that's going to stop the wrinkles and
the moisture butter is really effective, but the Skin Renew is just sort of like a
real top end version of
top end, and it costs a wee bit more.
Well, yeah, because the argan oil, I mean, that costs about $100 for 500 mils of it, so it's quite
an expensive ingredient.
Yeah.
So someone can choose to have that, or they can choose to have really effective moisturizer without paying as much money with the moisture butter.
Yeah.
Cool. So this one here, I've actually used this one and I've found it really, really good, but that's just an anecdotal testimony. Can you tell us about Breathe Ease Balm?
Well, Breathe Ease Balm is my answer to a vapor rub. It is still as effective, but it's not as harsh smelling. My little man can't handle Vicks Vapor Rub. He finds it makes his eyes water, and he doesn't like putting it on. But he likes this stuff. He likes me massaging this onto his back and on his chest. It's also got antiviral oils in it, so not only does it have the traditional like eucalyptus and camphor and peppermint and everything to clear the sinuses, it's also got antiviral oils in it. So oils like tamanu and neem oils, they actually have been proven when someone has a sore throat due to a virus, if they've rubbed the oils on their neck, it actually kills the viruses. So it stops the problem, so not only does it kind of reduce their symptoms, but also helps get rid of the cold and flu. And it's really good on the feet for coughs. And at night, you just rub some on their feet, put socks on them, and then,
Well, my experience of it is, for about a year, I spent most of my time going away. I was on 18 or so week-long camps with the Defence Force and the police and a whole lot of youth. And I thought I was cheating, actually. I would rub this on my feet as I got into bed at night, and I'd feel all cozy and warm and very special. And I thought, gee, this isn't really roughing it. And I never got a cold the entire year, even though I was surrounded by disease and pestilence, and never affected me. So the feet is a good place to put this, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Because you absorb a lot from the soles of your feet too. So all of the antiviral stuff's going to get into you and stop you getting colds and things like that.
Well, I can say anecdotally it's very effective. You're the professional that can say why it works. What about this one, this heat rub? It's takeaway.
Yes, it takes the ache away.
The ache away.
It is my answer to like an anti-inflammatory type cream. It's really good for muscles, joints, like arthritis, if you've strained, or anything like ligaments, tendons. It's got arnica in it, which is magic for anything like bruises or impacts or soft tissue injuries. But it's also got St. John's wort in it, which is really good for nerve damage, tendons, things like that. So it kind of hits it from both angles, whatever's wrong with it. The heat rub has cayenne pepper in it. It's got capsaicin oleo resin in it, which is like a heating agent. So that is called a rubefacient. So that increases the circulation in the area. So that kind of gets rid of all the inflammatory chemicals in the area and gets them away. So it can reduce the swelling, reduce the inflammation.
Because that's the body's reaction, isn't it? Gee, there's an injury. Let's get lots of lots of fluid. Let's pump it in there. Yeah.
And it just overinflates everything, makes it worse. Makes it hot, makes it sore, impinges on other like nerves and things like that, so that increases pain. So this will stop the inflammation, but it also stimulates the nerves to help grow again, or help get regenerated. Yeah, but it also stops the nerve. They send pain signals back to the brain, so that's what the heat does. The capsaicin.
So it short circuits the pain messages.
Yeah, it stops them getting sent back to the brain. So
very clever.
It does help with pain, and like I've heard people say if they've got a bad back or something, just rub this on in 10 minutes. It's feeling much better, much looser. Shoulder pain.
Because pain kind of freezes you. It stops you moving, right? So if you get rid of the pain, you can start moving again. That's probably what a lot of injuries need. Well, not necessarily. It depends, but the body needs movement, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Like a lot of the time, you can actually damage yourself by holding yourself stiff and not moving and not feeling that pain, because your body naturally thinks, "Oh, don't do that; it hurts." But actually, you can cause a lot of damage by not getting mobility back into the joint and getting the circulation flowing again. Because that's how the healing things can go back there, is to get it into the circulation.
That makes sense. So movement is good, but it has to be the right sort of movement.
And not for things like broken bones, obviously, but for certain things, yes, definitely you need to move it.
Okay. Bruise be gone. Yes. Bruise be gone.
Yep, that is basically a version of the heat rub takeaway with the same ingredients, like with the St. John's wort arnica, but it's got none of the capsaicin oleo resin in it, so it doesn't have the heat. Yeah. So you can put it, you still can't put it on open grazers' wounds or anything like that because it's got arnica in it, and you should never put arnica on open wounds. But for anything, bumps, bruises, sprains, strains, it's still really, really good.
So you can put this in places that you can't put the takeaway because the heat's not in it.
Yeah, so it's less sensitive. I mean, it's still got wintergreen and Scotch pine in it to increase the circulation to the area, but and rosemary. But it's not. It's not just like you don't get the hotness.
Okay. Massage racks, that kind of seems a bit more of a nice thing to have rather than a first aid thing, but
yeah, it's just it's obviously good for massage. It mounts on contact, so it's not a sloppy oil or anything. You get some on your hands, and then you can it basically melts on your hands, and you rub it on to the person you're massaging. But it can also be used as a moisturizer. Some people like a more kind of thick moisturizer, like so it does actually moisturize the skin because it's got a lot of good oils in it. Mango butter, calendula oil, hemp seed oil, avocado oil. So it's also a good moisturizer.
And the last one I've got here is, now that looks like the female symbol, so I don't really think this is a bloke thing. Hormone help.
Yep, that one is for females. It basically just helps balance out the hormones. It's got both estrogenic and progesterogenic balancing herbs in it, so it doesn't matter if you're too high in one, too low in one, high in both, low in both. It will just help
a balancer.
Bring them balance. Help all those lovely problems.
That's cool, and that really, I guess, is the natural approach, isn't it? It's about enhancing balance and getting things working. Wow. So where do you see? I mean, there's a great range of products. Oh, I've got to ask about this one. I mean, I love this one. So, what's this going to do? Turn me into Superman? Well, is this the magic potion that Gedivix used to give Asterix?
Not quite, no. These are bark flowers. So you've heard of Reiki Remedy, most people have. That is a mix of 5 of the bark flowers. Yeah, but you can there's 38 mixtures. Well, there's 38 bark flowers basically. So you can, each one of them deals with a different state of mind, because Dr. Edward Bach believed that the disease started in the emotions, and so he decided that he was gonna fix the emotions before, because I mean, emotions, you get stressed, that has impacts on the body, like depression, that has impacts on the body. So he decided to try and treat them before it started impacting.
So treat the emotion, and it's like a preventative.
Yeah, that's right. And it's kind of like an early indication of what's
what could be going wrong as well.
That's what he thought. So he developed the system of 38 bark flowers, each one's for a different state of mind. So the person can often self-diagnose them because no one knows you.
That's right. I've filled out that bit of paper where, do you feel like this? Yes, I feel like that. No, I don't feel like no. Yes, I feel like this sometimes.
Yeah, and that you can tells go you through, what you diagnose yourself. It tells you, you pick 5 of the flowers, or sometimes up to 7, but I'd like to think, 5 issues is a lot to deal with at once. So sometimes if they echo each other, then yes, you can kind of put a few more in, but if you're trying to, go 5 different ways, 5 is a good number to deal with. And I mean, the bottle is 30 mils, and that lasts you about a month. And after that month, you can reevaluate through in the booklet. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Oh, I'd like to work on this now. So you can, you basically usually after a few months, you end up with about 3 of the flowers that you kind of take, and they're your constitutional remedies in the bark flower world that just help you with, keeping on the kind of balanced, basically. It's the same kind of balance then back again.
Well, I'm the world's biggest skeptic, but I think they work. I find them very good. Okay, so you've got this huge range here, all very effective, and lots of evidence that it works from lots of happy people. Where do you see this going? Where's the next step with this for you? What do you want it to become?
Well, basically, eventually I'd like to have my own kind of studio/clinic type thing where I can put all my healing modalities that I've learnt together to help people.
Sounds
so,
cool.
Because I've got, the creams, obviously I'd like to have somewhere to sell those from, but I've also, I can take cases, like as a naturopath, you know, like have someone come and it's about an hour to an hour and a half interview where I just basically go through everything about their health, what they eat, their family history. I go through each of the body systems and ask them various questions that might, you know, indicate to me if everything's fine or if something needs looking at. So that I'd like, you know, and then you basically can prescribe them with, you know, your kind of foods that they might help boost certain vitamins that they need, and certain herbs that would help them, and nutritional supplements, that kind of thing. But also massage. I've studied massage, and that's can be very healing. And I've also just recently done my level 1 in Reiki as well. So I'd like to incorporate that along with the bark flowers, and yeah. So
I can say the Reiki's good. The Reiki's very good. So, all right, that's great. And if anybody out there sort of is thinking, gee, they'd like to know more about the hormone help, or if the kids are sick at school, I'd love to get some of this Breathe Ease balm, or gee, skin's a bit dry, I could do with a bit of moisturising. How would they get hold of you?
Well, I have a Facebook page, Arcadia Skincare, which they can go to and send me messages. You can also email me at Arcadia Orders, ARCADIA Orders, ORDERS @gmail.com. Yeah, that will get
And that'll reach you.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Kate. It's nice to talk with you this afternoon. We'll play you on air this evening, and hopefully you get lots of response.
Thanks very much.